Stay tuned for Nicholls Television Weekly as we take a look at national, state, and local news. Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Nicholls Television Weekly. I'm Andy Simoncelli.
And I'm Anita Winchester. After much criticism, Clinton healthcare plan offered reassurance to women. On Tuesday, the White House announced that the plan will cover women's needs ranging from birth control to cancer screening to menopause. Kevin Anderson, White House health care spokesman, said the plan will cover contraceptives, some infertility treatments, and sterilization. The treatment available is currently more coverage than typical insurance plans contain. Women's group have complained in a 245-page document stating some of the proposals are vague, such as abortion. New York Representative Rita Lowy said the plan is, quoting now, 90% there. Lowy and others say they'll keep the pressure on Clinton and Congress because they fear some benefits will be negotiated away during congressional debate over the plan.
Amtrak's Sunset Limited passenger train derailed while crossing the Bayou Cano Bridge. A towboat operator, not knowing how to use his radar, misread the railroad bridge as a barge and headed straight for it. Other than not having a radar and radio, the towboat carried no chart, compass, or other navigational tools. 47 people were killed and 153 were injured in the derailment. George Regal of the National Transportation Safety Board said that it will take up to a year to determine the cause of the derailment.
Don't you hate running late for class only to find traffic due to road construction? Reporter Andy Simoncelli follows this report about the latest street being paved around campus.
Work has re-begun on the paving of Percy Brown Road right next to the Nicholls State campus. Construction of the road was thought to be completed when engineers decided to widen the road a foot on each side. The Barrier Construction Company received the contract on Percy Brown by offering the lowest bid on the projected $225,000 project.
Company goes by getting a contract, by being bonded professionally. The bids are through Baton Rouge where they bid on the jobs. Well, they just bid on an open market against other contractors for the bid. The lowest bidder gets it.
The Barrier Construction Company began work on the road a month ago, and according to their contract with the state, they have 45 working days to complete the project.
5 working days a week. If it rains, they get a free day for the next week. Anything that's, say, nature, or if the highway department holds them back, they get a free day. If anything, bad weather, they get a free day.
The newly paved Percy Brown Road should be completed within the next 2 weeks and will bring a big sigh of relief to students who usually travel on this convenient route. Reporting for NTW, I'm Andy Simoncelli.
Percy Brown is frequently used as a shortcut connecting LA1 and Canal Street. The United States Supreme Court must once again address the issue of sexual harassment. Nashville resident Teresa Harris's case will pose the question of how bad does the workplace environment have to get before it is unlawful sexual harassment. In 1987, Harris quit her job as rental manager for a Nashville forklift company because she says company president Charles Hardy often made demeaning comments to her based on her gender. The Supreme Court received the case after a federal magistrate ruled in Hardy's favor and an appeals court upheld the original decision.
An article in USA Today states that minorities are less likely to get loans approved than whites. ACORN, or the Association of Community Organizations for Reform Now, stated that African Americans and Hispanics are 2.7 times less likely to get mortgage loans approved. ACORN President Maud Hurd said, quoting now, "At this rate, minorities will have to wait more than half a century to achieve equal treatment." ACORN's study is based on annual reports filed under the Home Mortgage Disclosure Act. The study covered 120 lenders in 23 cities. Folk dance and musical group Kevin Elray from northwestern France performed for Nicholls Community and Peltier Auditorium on Tuesday. Our own Anita Winchester reviewed their performance.
The Nicholls State Artists and Lectures Committee hosted 55 members of the folk dance and musical group Kevin Elray in Peltier Auditorium on Tuesday. Angela Hammerly, assistant professor of health and physical education, explains how the group came to perform at Nicholls.
One day, out of the blue, this woman, Debbie Delahuse, from the French consulate in New Orleans, called me, and I can't even remember where she got my phone number from, but she knew that we presented at Nicholls, and she told me that the dance group, Kevin Elray, was coming from Brittany, and she wondered if we were interested in bringing them to Nicholls. So I thought about it a moment, and I knew that it would be a good completion to our season, because when I plan the Artists and Lectures season, I try to do a variety of things. If I had already had 3 folk dancers planned, then I wouldn't take advantage of the 4th one. But indeed, since I've been chair, and this is my 5th year, we've never brought folk dancers. So it was kind of like, this is the time, perhaps, to bring some folk dancers to Nicholls.
Known for their shoulder-high, heel-kicking leaps and spectacular dance revolutions, the dancers perform beautifully with the quick movements of their feet.
If you looked at their feet, they did a pattern that was repeated in many, many of the steps. What they did is they did configurations, which were beautifully coordinated with the different types of costumes, if you remember that. The way they had the blue coming together, and then they were interspersed with the plain, and so they really did some nice geometric formations, I thought. But the feet were doing right, left, right, left, right, left, right, step, hop. I'll say that again. They were going 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, hop. Say that one more time. Right, left, right, left, right, left, hop. But they were doing this very, very quickly.
The sounds of bagpipes, bombards, and drums provided the dancers with a blend of inspirational music from northwestern France.
A little bitty instrument that was very, very loud, and that's called bombard, B-O-M-B-A-R-D-E-S, and that's a very old oboe. I was really surprised at the volume of that instrument. Then there were 2 men who both played the accordion, and it was interesting because our Cajun music has an accordion, and then they played the accordion, and it was kind of a smaller accordion than I've seen, but it had a lovely sound. So we had also drums, which are very universal, but they were nice big drums. I thought those were fun to hear.
Kevin Elray was the 5-time bagpipe band champions of Brittany and the folk dance champions of Brittany from 1986 to 1992. Reporting for NTW, I'm Anita Winchester.
Kevin Elray performed 3 times while visiting the Nicholls campus.
Plans to demolish the River Gate and replace it with a 200,000 square foot casino were announced by Harris Jazz Company. The casino, scheduled to open in January of 1995, will be temporarily housed in the Municipal Auditorium beginning in mid to late February. The unnamed Rivergate Casino is expected to cost over $200 million, resembling some 19th century landmarks such as the St. Charles Hotel, the French Opera House, and Galère Hall. The actual 330,000 square foot building will also house dining facilities, VIP lounges, and some possible retail areas. A 6-story parking garage across Poitras Street will also be connected to the casino with a glass-enclosed airy walkway.
A valuable instructor at the NSU Art Department could possibly lose her job. Reporter Eric Zerang has this story.
The Nicholls Art Department faculty and students are fighting to keep one of their teachers. Jean Donegan, an adjunct art instructor, might not be working here any longer.
I found out about a couple of weeks ago that there would be a possibility I would no longer be an adjunct. I was very disappointed about this because I really enjoy teaching here. I like the students. We have a real good bunch of students. There's a lot of energy in the department, and I would be disappointed not to be here.
But Art Department head Dennis Sikorsky and the students are trying to change that.
What has been decided at this point, it's still up in the air about whether she will or will not be with us. The students, as I found out, have wrote a letter to the vice president and the dean asking that she be kept on because she is so valuable to them as an artist and as a person. And I have been writing letters requesting that she be kept on because of her value to the department. And hopefully we'll know in a couple of weeks whether the university feels that her position in the art department is valuable and valuable enough to keep her on.
Donegan feels good about the letters, but also thinks the students are doing it for their own benefit.
When I first found out about the petition, I was very flattered. To think that you're appreciated like that is a very flattering thing. But I also think they're concerned about losing a resource that they now have at their disposal. Each faculty member brings with them their own experiences, their own set of background experiences with them that the students can tap into. And this would be one less resource that they would have.
Sikorsky agrees.
And she's been a big asset to the department, not only because she's our adjunct, but because she's the only female in the department, and she's also a very talented artist.
Reporting for NTW, I'm Eric Zarang.
Sikorsky and Donegan expect to know more in the near future. The city of New Orleans has recorded over 300 murders already this year. Governor Edwin Edwards says he is shocked at the recent statistics, which rank Louisiana as leading the nation in murders per capita. Edwards has appointed a task force on violent crime and homicide in hopes of lowering the state's murder rate. Edwards wants the task force to find out what is creating violent crimes in Louisiana and to suggest solutions to those problems.
Students may find the number of hours they need to graduate lower than they expected. Our own Jeff Young filed this report.
Some Nicholls students might find their number of required hours to graduate lower than they expected. The Courses and Curricula Committee voted last Wednesday to eliminate student development, health and PE, and a natural science lab from the university's general degree requirements. In order for these changes to occur, the Faculty Senate must approve them first and then the University Council. If the university decides to eliminate these three courses, each individual department will have to look at and possibly change the number of credit hours needed by students to obtain a four-year degree. Dr. Robert Claymont, Professor of Education and Committee Chair, explains.
Although the Course and Curricula Committee and let's say all of the other groups agree to our recommendation that certain courses be eliminated, it doesn't mean that the various departments have to eliminate those courses. If a certain department wants to keep a laboratory requirement as part of their degree requirements, they can. But all we're saying is that it will not be a mandated requirement as part of the general education requirements for a degree at Nicholls.
Nicholls State University is mandated by the Board of Regents, which allows colleges and universities to determine how many credit hours are needed to obtain a degree in a particular curriculum. However, schools operated under the Board of Regents have to include 39 hours of English, math, computer literacy, natural science, arts, humanities, and social science in its core curriculum. Juniors and seniors already enrolled should not expect any abrupt changes if this proposal passes.
Many of the students who would be of junior and senior level right now have already taken all of these courses anyway, so it would not have any impact on them. It's more likely to have impact on upcoming freshmen and possibly sophomores if the curriculum changes can get in the catalog soon enough.
The Faculty Senate will vote on this proposal in their upcoming meeting on October 28th. Reporting for NTW, I'm Jeff Young.
The anticipated changes in degree requirements will take some time to implement. And now, Andy will take a look at sports.
Thank you, Anita. In national sport news, the Toronto Blue Jays will battle the Philadelphia Phillies for the World Series trophy. The Phillies beat the Braves last night 6-3 and won the series 4-2. The Phillies went from worst to first and will make a franchise 5th appearance in the World Series. The first game we played this Saturday night in Toronto. Now to campus sports. The Nicholls State Lady Tennis team will enjoy national recognition for the second straight year. Krishna Summer is ranked 54th among the United States women collegiate tennis players. The Intercollegiate Tennis Association released its 1993-94 preseason rankings, listing the top 60 collegiate players. Summer, who won in 1993 with the Southland Conference Player of the Year and #1 singles champion, is the only player from the Southland Conference to be ranked in the top 60. In football news, the Colonels will try to get their first mark in the win column as they travel to Nacogdoches to play Stephen F. Austin. And that is a look at your sports in review.
And that closes out another edition of Nicholls Television Weekly. Up next, Vera Boyd interviews Dr. Janet Worthington, the Director of Continuing Education. I'm Anita Winchester.
And I'm Andy Simoncelli. Good evening. That was so cheesy, bro. That sounds so cheesy. Thank you.